Oh my good gravy and biscuits. It's been 2 months since my last video went up and I am so sorry for this ridiculous delay. Basically it boils down to my fiance very tragically lost his grandfather about 3-4 weeks ago. While he was in Germany, finishing up his year abroad, and upon his return to the UK, I had to do a bit of travelling myself to go and to be with him, support him, do what I could during this this difficult time. Obviously, as a result of that, I couldn't do any filming. As for the other videos that I've actually already filmed, I forgot to put them up. I'm very sorry about that. I hope you can understand my reasoning, behind all of this. It's been a bit of a stressful time, especially for my fiance, with what he's had to deal with regards to difficult family and whatnot. But obviously we're back home now. Things are improving drastically. He's in much better spirits, and hopefully, as a result now, I can get back onto a more consistent filming schedule. Once again, I'm very, very sorry about this, but hopefully this video will begin to make things right. So, without further ado, Laheating! Hello everyone and welcome to my Queer channel. I'm your host Queerchan, and today, after much delay, we are finally going to be looking at my Celebration Europe haul. Now, as you all know, 2 months ago, we were very, very fortunate to have Celebration Europe basically in our backyard in London. We were fortunate enough as well, my fiance and I, to have obtained 3-day passes, so we got to attend the whole thing, and let me say it was one of, if not the best weekend of my entire life. It was incredible being there. It was almost like going home, I dare say. It was amazing to be surrounded by so many Star Wars fans of all different ages, by these incredible cosplayers, by even meeting some of the actors and actresses there. It was just absolutely incredible. I've actually been to another celebration. I went to Celebration 4 in 2007 with my mother. That in itself was incredible, not least because Rune Hacko's actor actually hugged me. But even with that, this was even more incredible. It was just such a fantastic few days. On top of that, we got to finally meet so many of our friends that we've made online over the years. The subject of which actually brings me to my first item. Now, you'll see I'm actually missing my little table here, and there's good reason for that, because the first item I'd like to show you all that we got is, let's see if I can get it all in frame, the exclusive Rogue One poster. Now, as some of you may or may not know, this was actually given out to attendees of, let me see if I can actually get it to balance here, attendees of the Rogue One panel. There we go. My fiance and I were actually not attendees. Basically, all of our friends, as I said, they were hosting the Star Wars Underworld booth. And they all had miraculously managed to acquire wristbands to go and see the panel. Fiance and I hadn't, so since they couldn't really leave the booth alone, for so long, we volunteered to watch it for them and, to basically answer any questions that any passers-by had. We're members ourselves of the Underworld Facebook page. We follow the news site fairly frequently, and of course these were all of our friends, so, we were happy to do that for them. The only thing is, it took a lot longer than we thought it would. We were sitting there for probably good 2-3 hours, and towards the end of it we were starting to get a little bit upset. Obviously we wanted to go and, explore the venue, see what was there, do a bit of shopping and whatnot. So when they finally came back, we were about to have a real go at them for leaving us there for so long. But before we could say a word, one of our friends, thank you very much for this, Chris, basically said, we're really sorry that we left you guys for so long, so we brought you this. And basically he gave up his own poster to give it to us as thanks for watching the stall. Basically all was forgiven in that moment. It is an incredibly beautiful poster, and especially more and more recently, my fiance and I have really started to get hyped up for the new film. Few months ago, we were honestly not that bothered about it. We were more bothered about, you know, episode 8 coming out the following year. So we didn't actually give it much thought. But, as I said, the new trailers just come out fairly recently, good 2-3 weeks ago. And since Celebration Europe, and especially since the trailer, we have really started to get hyped up about it. So the poster was very much appreciated. We unfortunately have nowhere to display it at the moment, so it will have to remain inside its plastic casing. I tell you what, there was actually a stall selling these plastic casings at the venue, and probably within about 10 minutes of the panel ending, I saw all these people with their posters and these plastic casings. Obviously, we went over ourselves and bought one. That stall must have made an absolute killing after that. I mean, they sold so many within a short period of time. Let's see. Next one is another poster. I can't remember if I actually showed this off during the Kylo Ren figure review. This was also from the Forbidden Planet booth. Very limited print, one of 3,000. Which means they were probably only giving these out at Celebration Europe and San Diego Comic-Con, which was fantastic. Now, these weren't actually exclusive to the Kylo Ren figure. All you had to do was actually just spend, I think it was about £30 at, was it 32? One of the two. At the Forbidden Planet stall. And they gave you these as a freebie. Now, very fortunately, the Kylo Ren figure actually managed to, you know, be within that threshold, so I got one for free. Very strange though, my fiancé didn't. On the back is a list of Black Series 6-inch figures, including Ahsoka, which I am dying to get. I did actually see one of these for sale at Celebration Europe. It was £60, which was not happening. Very nice poster. I know some people have criticised the artwork for it, but I think it's actually stunning artwork and actually captures him quite nicely. Following this paper theme, in fact, actually I'm going to put my table back now, if you just give me one moment. There we go. Following the next paper theme are 2 autographs that I got while I was there. First one is Kenneth Connolly. Connolly, is that it? Who played Admiral Piet. This is not actually an autograph for me. I picked it up for my friend Pile of Sith. Piet's one of her favourite characters, and she very sadly couldn't be there. And yes, this one is for me. This is Jaquil, played by Tim Dry. I've actually got Tim Dry on Facebook, so it was very nice to actually go and see him in person. He was very, very tall. Next piece, of course, is the exclusive figure. Now, as you know, 2 months ago, I did a full review of this, so I'm not going to go into too much detail of this figure. If you'd like to see a detailed review of this figure, please go and watch my review of it, posted 2 whole months ago. So, not too terribly much to say about this one now, but it was part of the haul all the same. Now, for what I'm actually going to show you next, you're going to start to notice a bit of a theme, that theme being BB-8. I haven't talked much about episode 7 or my feelings about it. That will be for another fairly late and overdue video. But when I saw the film, I absolutely fell in love with BB-8, and it has been one of my goals since that time to get as many BB-8 pieces of merchandise as I can. First one is this nice little oven glove I picked up from Underground Collectibles. They also had an R2-D2 one, which I wanted to pick up at some point, but by the time we got back they were unfortunately sold out, so I will have to get that one online. As you can see, it's been used. We are making use of him in the kitchen. It'll be nice once we've actually got R2 to use with him. Next, from the same place, Underground, is the talking keychain. We've been looking for these everywhere, and rather miraculously, my fiance and I managed to get the final two. He had the final one on display. We asked if they had maybe one remaining in the back area, and lo and behold, the guy brought out an extra one, so we were each able to get one that day. Next up, just a standard little BB-8 plush, but a very cute one at that. My fiance got one as well, and a Kylo Ren plush. And the store we bought it from actually was doing sort of a deal on 3 plushes, where if you bought 3, you got them discounted or something to that effect. Even though we bought them separately, because we were together and because we were buying 3, they did us the deal anyway, so very kind of them. Very cute little plush, very squishy. The next ones, I'm so terrified I'm actually going to start collecting these. I had to hold back when I was there. This is actually something, I believe, from Japan that has started to make its way over to the Western world. They're called Tsum Tsums. Now, they mostly do Disney characters of them, but because Star Wars is obviously now owned by Disney, they have done a Star Wars range. Originally, I just picked up R2-D2 and BB-8, but I felt that the trio was not complete, so the next day I came back and picked up C-3PO. I wanted to get Kylo Ren and Phasma as well, but probably a bit fortunate for my bank account, they were actually sold out by the time I went back. Which is, as I said, probably no bad thing, given 1, how expensive they are, and 2, my uncontrollable collecting habits. Very cute though. I like how they've got a sort of a textured bottom here so you can actually stack them without them slipping. Very cute little plushes. I was carrying those around for a few days. Next up, another couple that we've actually been looking for quite frequently. These 2 pop vinyl figures, or pop bobbleheads, pop figures, pop vinyl figures, whatever you want to call them. First one is Sidon Ithana, one of my favourite Episode 7 characters. My fiance and I were very fortunate to actually find a booth that sold 2 of them. Not only that, but we got them for a price that was lower than what we would have found at either Toys R Us or Games, so we were very pleased about that, especially given that these conventions are known for just absolute price gouging. BB-8, on the other hand, I actually got for free. One of my friends, Andrew, he picked up a Star Wars loot crate for £50, bless him. And inside was this figure, which he already had and my fiance already had, so he very, very generously just gave it to me. So thank you very much, Andrew. More than appreciated. I've been looking for the BB-8 vinyl figure. In fact, I've only just found it just the other day. I think it was at Toys R Us. Might have been Game, one of the 2. Next up is, well, a couple of things I wasn't actually expecting to find. This is a leaflet from a display area where they had a number of costumes from the original trilogy, including a Duros mask, which, even though there weren't any Neimoidian actors there, I was so thrilled to see this mask. I've actually got a picture of me in my full Nute Gunray gear posed next to this mask. It was incredible. It's so incredible to actually see it in person. Interestingly, they are actually that green colour, whereas in the film they look distinctly blue. Now, I can't remember if it's due to aging, I don't know if it's due to aging of the mask or if that was the actual colour, but I still thought it was a very sort of interesting observation. So, I still managed to obtain something to go in my collection. Brilliant. And even if I didn't, when I passed by the TK421 stall, I was finally able to meet my good friends Tim Verkhoven and Sander de Lange and Kevin Baintjes. Forgive me if I've butchered any of your names, if any of you happen to be watching. And Tim very generously gave me this little pack of Star Wars cards and stickers, including this Duros design card and a number of stickers containing Trade Federation vessels and my good friend Nute Gunray and Gil Ramos Libcath. Not Rune Hacko, I don't buy that. So, those will go into my card folder after this. Thank you so much, Tim. Very, very much appreciated. I actually didn't even know these existed, so I'm going to try and find... Or actually, oh, these are the Merlin ones. Oh, I'm going to have to try and find the rest of those. Brilliant. Now, These next few items are the fastest £30 I've ever spent in my life. It's 3 items from the Celebration exclusive store, including, first of all, this £10 pen. I spent £10 on a pen. I could go to Amazon and spend £10 and probably get 1,000 pens, but no, I spent £10 on one pen and I do not regret it. Do you know why? Do you know why? Because if you look, it's got a TIE fighter in it, and this little section is filled with water, so that when you tilt it, it races across the water like the scene on Takodana in episode 7. And it's also got the logo on the back. I do not regret this pen. Next item is this lightsaber lanyard. Now, they were actually doing red ones as well, with Darth Vader's hilt, that you could buy when you pre-ordered your passes. I rather stupidly didn't get one, so I was very happy to find, I think this is Luke, could be Anakin. I'm not very good with lightsabers, I do aliens, remember. I was very fortunate to find that they were actually selling these at the Celebration store. In the end, though, I didn't actually mind, because just the standard black cord that they gave you if you didn't buy a lanyard to go with your pass, that's mine, Food Ray Adult, Jen Urso, it blended in a lot better with my costume, whereas the red or the blue just would have stood out ridiculously, so I'm actually not too upset about that. And finally, my last Star Wars piece of merchandise, I say Star Wars, is this other lanyard, which has all the designs of these collectible pins, including this exclusive Lobot one. Originally, my fiance and I wanted to get the droid pins. Unfortunately, we waited too long, and we were debating buying them before the referendum, if you can cast your mind back about 3 months. And by the time the referendum had ended, the pound had dropped so badly that the pins were expensive before, but by that point we just didn't want to spend the money on them. So we hoped we could actually find them at Celebration, but unfortunately they were pre-order only. But to make up for that, as I say, I bought the lanyard, in which, you know, contains all the designs of all these different pins. So even if I can't actually have the pins themselves, I've got these very cute little designs instead, and an exclusive pin. So, win situation all around. And now finally, as I said, that was my last piece of Star Wars merchandise, because I did actually get 2 pieces of non-Star Wars. I indulged my Pokemon side while I was there. There was a booth selling general sort of geeky themed merchandise and video game themed merchandise, including this very cute Squirtle plush. It doesn't have any tags, I can't identify it, and for all I know it is probably a bootleg, but it was too cute to pass up. I've never seen it before, and I'll probably not see it since, so I'm very glad I picked him up. He's so cuddly, although it was probably a bit strange to see Newt Gunray walking around with a Squirtle. And then, of course, finally is this Pokeball, which had my engagement ring inside. So, ending on a slightly non-Star Wars note, that is my haul from the incredible Celebration Europe. Now, before I go, I just want to do a very quick shout out. Some of you may know that recently we very tragically lost a member of the Star Wars collecting community, Mr. Glenn Webb. I cannot remember when or how, but suffice it to say, he very tragically and very suddenly passed away. He actually went to Celebration Europe, and several of my friends managed to meet him. He was only 40, so, you know, devastatingly young age in this already ridiculous year. So as I say, I just want to give a shout out to him and offer my condolences to, you know, to him, to his family, and to the friends he left behind. He did some incredible reviews. I've seen a few myself. Very professional, very high quality, a lot better than anything I could ever do. He also did his own exclusive Kylo Ren figure review, so I do actually recommend you go and see that. As I said, it's a lot better than mine. Posthumously, I'm very happy that he still managed to achieve his 100,000 plus subscriber goal. If you haven't already, please do go and subscribe to him. You know, leave a message of condolence and show your support, because he made some incredible reviews, and the collecting community has truly lost a very incredible young man. On that note, though, Don't really know what to say after that. That's yes. I don't like making death announcements. Death, unfortunately, you know, has touched our lives a bit too much lately with this year, and you know, my fiance's and you know, my own lives. So yeah, go and leave him, you know, a comment. Let him know that you're still thinking of him and his family. Go watch his fantastic reviews. And thank you for watching mine. And thank you so much for, you know, for sticking out these 2 months. I'm very sorry. I will try my absolute hardest not to let this happen again. I know I say this time and time again, but, you know, life tends to get in the way. I hope you've enjoyed this. I'm always happy to answer any questions you have regarding Celebration or any of the items that I may have found, or anything really. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Thank you for staying with me, even during this delay. I hope to have many, many more videos for you. So, please, stay tuned. Thank you, and may the Force and Neimoidians be with you.